Welcome to Where There's a Wheels, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and today I'm here with a solo initial impressions of Comic Hunters. Comic Hunters has recently been brought to us by Arcane Wonders, who brought it to the United States after many, many years. It is designed by Roberto Fuelho, plays 1 to 4 players in 60 minutes. Let's take a look at the overview of the game. After scouring countless flea markets, comic book stores, auction sites, and conventions, you have managed to acquire the most important comics of all your favorite Marvel heroes. Well, almost all of them. Some rare editions are still missing from your collection. Your favorite villain's first appearance, that influential special edition, that debut of a new costume, that epic battle with an archenemy, and those coveted number ones. You know where to find these comics, but you also know that you're not the only one looking for these gems. Can you collect the comics you need to be recognized as the greatest Marvel comic collector of all time? So, while I did not play this weekend as time of filming, I did play it last weekend. Got my Marvel shirt on for this, and yeah, we actually just got back from earlier today from watching the new Marvel Cinematic Universe movie Thunderbolts, which we both really enjoyed. So let's get on to the initial impressions. If you're looking for theme in a game, this game is all about the theme. Um, you, I mean, it says everything it says. You are going into flea markets and stores and auction sites and conventions to find the comics that you need. Let's go on the table and kind of look at the theme just a little bit closer. So if we look at this, you have your board set up, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You have these cards, but you are searching for these cards, which are your different comic cards, which we'll take a closer look at here in just a minute. And you are going to stores, flea markets, auction sites, conventions. Yeah, so the theme of this, of searching for those cards that take place over the different eras, or those comics that take place over the different eras of comics, they really come through. So yeah, I think the theme of this one is great. The components of this one. This is where the game kind of falls apart a little bit. The board is okay. It's fine. The cardboard little tokens are really thin. You can see I can put them under the. My green screen not working now all of a sudden. Oh, there it is. It's way up there. Oh, you can see they are very thin. Okay, I'm gonna adjust that. Give me just a minute here. Got a new setup here. So we are adjusting on the fly. Didn't realize that was that far up. All right. So components, really thin. Um, Cards that, as you can tell when you stack them, like they should not come apart like that. They don't sag. You can see they're sliding apart. So they do not stack very easily. This deck does. For some reason, when you make this deck, which we'll talk about a little bit, these do not want to sit very tight. Um, I don't know. The cards are a nice thickness. I just don't know what it is about these cards that they just don't wanna. They don't want to sit. These ones, like I said, these ones are doing pretty good. Um, the ones I've had to take it out that I kind of showed, they're okay. They're a little wonky. Um, but yeah, so they don't sit real flat. So the components of this game are severely lacking. We'll just put it that. I think most people um, who are going after this game understand that you are not doing it for the components. You are doing it for the theme. You are doing it for the comic book covers. You're doing it for the nostalgia, and then the gameplay as well. Well, here's where this shines because the artwork. I mean, you have your board, but this is what we're really going for here. Is these comic book cards, and let's see if I can zoom that in just a little bit more here. Yeah, I mean this is what we're going for here. This is the this is the coup de grace. It is actual comic book covers from different ages of Marvel Comics. So there's a few from that age. So that is the more current age. I believe the first ones are the what are say the modern age, and then these ones are a little bit older. The second age of them. Yeah, here's some different comics of some different heroes, some first issues. This is where you are going for. This age is this second deck is the deck that really kind of brings me in because I got huge into comics in the 90s. I got back into them recently when the Marvel Cinematic Universe started up in the movies, and here are those classic. These are those golden age, I think is what they call them. These are the earliest ones. These are the big ones. These ones are 70s, 80s, 60s. You know, these are the early days of Marvel Comics. And then this other deck is a combined deck, which we'll talk about a little bit. So the artwork in this game, I mean, it's actual comic book covers, so we know the artwork in this one is good. The artwork in this game is what really kind of you're getting with the game. Like I said, the components not so much. The artwork is where you are shining. Okay, so I'm doing a solo initial impression. So for the solo game, you take your decks of cards. You are going to put 6 of these hero tokens here. So I've got Captain America, I've got Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, who is always in the game, and Thor. And then I have Hulk and Black Widow that are out right now. All of the cards that have only Hulk or Black Widow on them in the corner here, which we'll talk about in a minute, get taken out. If there are cards that have other heroes in them, on them as well, so let's see if I can find one quick. Of course not. There's none. There's no modern ones. Really? There we go. There's a Black Widow and Iron Man. Okay, that one stays on because it can still count for Iron Man. So you take your 3 decks of cards, shuffle them, and place them down, and then for this deck, you are going to take for a 1-player game, you take 6 of the age 1 cards, 10 of the age 2, and 10 of the age 3. And I think I actually set this one up slightly wrong because I was looking at the 3 to 4 player. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, I guess I did set it up right. I thought I was looking at the wrong one. Okay, so you take those and set those up. We'll talk about those in a little bit. You put your, like I said, you put your highlight tokens over here. There are 5 highlight tokens. Each one of them means you are looking for a different thing. So the highlight tokens are first issues, epic battles. Oh wait, no, first appearances, epic battles. What are the other ones? Number 1 issues. What are the? See, first appearance. So first appearance, epic battles. A new look. So this one, your superhero got a new costume, a new look, and then the diamond is a special edition one. So those are those special edition comics that come out. Then you place the round marker, basically tracker here. You put scoring markers here, and you do the other scoring markers here. Jarvis is over here on this side of the table. He's black. I'm green for this. And that's your setup. There is not. Oh, this is your secret stash of that you might be able to use to bid on stuff later, and that is how you set up the game. So yeah, the setup for this is pretty easy. I think the most tedious part is going through the cards and picking out only the ones that have the 2 heroes that are not in the game when you're playing a solo. The gameplay. So in Comic Hunters, you are playing over a series of 3 days, 3 sections, where you are going to be doing 3 of the 4 things each round. Okay, before you assemble your collection. In the first round, you are going to go to the store. When you go to the store in the solo mode, you are using the number 1 deck, and you are going to take 3 cards. You're going to take 2 in. Oops, that's 4. Take 2 into your hand and put 1 in Jarvis's hand. Jarvis doesn't he doesn't pay for anything. You will end up paying. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's see. We're looking for new costumes. We're looking for epic battles, and we're looking for first appearances. So you see this Spider-Man has a new costume. That's a new costume there for him, as donated, denoted by the symbol there. This Thor is the #1 issue, which we're not looking for, but we are looking. Or so we're not looking for anything on there. We're not looking for either one of those things. And this Avengers one is got an epic battle on it, so we want those. So we're gonna take those two, and we're gonna give Jarvis this, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And you do that twice when you go to the store. Okay, so we've got 3 more. Once again, I'm looking for that and that, so I'm going to keep those and give this to Jarvis. And you do that at the store. At the flea market, you are going to put out, you're using the Era 2 cards. You're going to put out 3 rows. And what you're going to do is you are going to take a card and place it somewhere. So this has a versus, this has a versus, this has a #1. I'm not worried about the #1, but I also don't want Jarvis to end up with this row. This row is going to have 2 comics, this is going to have 3, this is going to have 4. Jarvis is going to end up with the row that has the most comics left. So I think we're going to throw this off up here because it doesn't go towards any of these things. And then Jarvis is going to take a card, and what he's going to do is he's going to look at the hero. This hero is in the first row. Well, this row is full, so he's just going to put it in the next row down. And you keep doing this. So this is a good one for me. This would be a good one. So I'm going to put that down there. Once again, Jarvis, Doctor Strange is on the bottom. He's going to put it there, but that is a good one there because that's got a versus, so that's good. And then I'm going to take Doctor Strange. This has got a first appearance. So that would be good here because this would give me a versus. I think I'm gonna put that down there. And then what I can do is on my turn, I can take this. So I can take this. Jarvis is gonna end up putting this here anyway. So I'm gonna take these 4, and then Jarvis is gonna end up with these 3. I'll kind of show you what that means. And then these 2 get discarded into the convention pile. So those 2 go into the convention pile. I'm just gonna leave that over here. Okay, and then we go to the convention. So in the convention, you are going to, first I'm going to shuffle these since I just put a couple of cards in there. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to deal out in the solo game a 5x5 grid of just the outside. So each one of the areas has a different thing that you are doing. And I don't know if this is going to fit. We will see. I'm going to move my cards down here out of the way, and then we'll talk about the end of a round. So at the convention, you are going to do this basically like you are going through a convention area with tables set up. And then you're going to put 1 in the middle. And the rest of these just go off to the side. All right, it did mostly fit. And on your turn, what you are going to do is you're going to slide a card into an open spot, call out a hero, and take all of the cards of that hero that are in that row or column. So over here, the scoring, if I have 3 or 4 Captain Americas, it's 6 points. 5 or 7, it's 12. 8 to 11 is 24. 12 is 48. Iron Man, Spider Man is 5, 10, 20, 40. Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Thor is 4, 8, 16, and 32. So I want to get these. Also, as if I can get a collection of as many characters as possible, I get more points. The way you start a collection is you have to have at least 2 of a hero. Jarvis just starts it. So I would like to try and get Captain America, Iron Man, and Spider Man, but I also don't want Jarvis in because what's going to happen is I'm going to do a round where I'm going to slide and I'm going to call out a hero. Then I'm going to do the same thing and discard those back into the convention pile. Then I'm going to do it again, take those cards, do it again, discard those back in the convention pile, and Jarvis is going to get all of the rest of the comic books into his collection. So I want to leave as few comic books, and I also want to leave these comic books that don't score very high. So let's see here. I got a Spider-Man here. There's no, oh, that's not good because there's no Spider-Man. I got a Captain America, Thor, Spider-Man, or say Captain America, Spider-Man, 2 Black Panthers. Oh, don't like that. Let's see here. I am not going to get a very good hand to start here because those Black Panthers, although they could be used to, so these could be used to pay for other stuff that I really want. Oh, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I really don't want those. But we got some Iron Mans down here, and we got some Spider Mans down here. I would not mind getting this Iron Man out here because that's a lot of Spider Mans I could get. So we are going to do this. We're going to slide this here. No. No, I want to get rid of that. I want to be able to move down here. Okay, we're going to do this because I want to just get some comics. We're going to say Black Panther, and I'm going to take this row of Black Panthers. And those are going to go into my collection for now. Well, they're not in my collection yet. They're just comics that might get into my collection. I still got to pay for them. Okay, so then, let's see. We're going to do this. We're going to slide this Iron Man up over here. And we're going to say Iron Man, and these ones are going to get discarded back in. Let's see. Got two Captain Americas. I would really like him to not get Captain America. Like, I don't want him to get Captain America. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. I'm going to say Spider-Man. That's mine. And then, just to make it like I've actually moved it, we're going to say Captain America. We don't want him to get that. He's going to get two Thors, low scoring. Black Panther, Doctor Strange, low scoring. Spider-Man, mid scoring. He's going to put those into his collection. Okay, so then you're going to assemble your collection. And I will talk about the auction site in just a minute. In the first round, you don't go to the auction site. So when you go to make your collection, you have to pay for these. So I'm going to put these out, and you can see what I have. So I've got quite a bit of Spider-Man, so I would not mind starting that collection. This one counts as Iron Man. So that's an Iron Man. This is a Thor. This is a Doctor Strange. We got another Black Panther, and we got a Captain America. All right, so I need two comics in order to start my collection. So I'm definitely going to start this Spider-Man collection, probably start this Black Panther collection, and then at the end of the round, I can actually keep two cards for the next round. So we're going to use this Doctor Strange because it's a low scoring one. That one's worth 3, and which means I can keep these 3 to start a collection. So I can start making. So I'm going to move these cards out of the way so that I got space to show you my cards. Okay. So I'm going to start this collection, and then I'll show you what Jarvis has over here as well at the end of the round. And then so I paid 3 for that. So this one is a era 3. I had 3 era 1s, so an era 3 pays for 3 era 1s. And then that card goes back into the convention pile, which I'm getting goofed up here. All right. Then I would not mind starting a Black Panther because a collection's a collection. So that one's a good one for me. That one's a good one for me. I don't need #1 issues, and I don't need this. So I believe. Let me just double check. I believe I can start a collection with 2. I don't need 3, right? To start a collection, you must have 2 or more. Okay, so I am going to start a collection with this because they give me some good things right now. So I'm going to start my collection with this, and I need to pay 2 for that. Well, I'm not doing Doctor Strange, so I can get rid of this 2. Okay. Then, so I can't actually use these yet. That's a bummer. I would like that Captain America because it also gives me this new outfit. So I'm going to hold this one back, and I'm going to hold this Avengers back, this Iron Man back, because it gives me a versus. So this Thor, I can throw it. So this is a 1, so I don't have a 1. So let's see what else I want here. This is a versus. This is a first appearance. I don't necessarily need those. So undo this. We are going to. I'm going to keep both of these and keep them in my collection here. And I'm going to just kind of slide these over so you can see the symbols on them. And so that they don't take too much space. So that was 4. So I need 4. And I'm going to keep one of these. I don't know which one. doesn't really matter. None of them have a symbol that I really want. So I need to spend 4. This is where it gets a little tricky because none of these have a symbol that I really want, but it's fine. So we're gonna keep that one for no. So we're gonna go 4. Okay, so we spent 4. We spent this 4 to get those. Then I've got this left over right now. I can't start another collection. I really want to keep this because I want to get a Captain America collection for next round. So I think I'm going to spend this. Oh, no, wait. So I can't. If I want to put that in my thing. Okay, so this I can't really do a whole lot with. Let me just double check. I think I just. Let me double check because I didn't really ever have this come up. So I think I'm gonna keep these two. These two I think I just discard because I can't pay for them and I can't use them. Okay. So we're gonna do that. So now Jarvis has a Thor, a Black Panther, a Doctor Strange, a Spider-Man. Like I said, it doesn't matter how many he has, he automatically starts collections with everything. He's got a Captain America, got another Doctor Strange, who he's already got points on both of these. Okay, so then what you do is you look at your symbols and you slide these down. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of these. I've got 2 verses. I've got 2 new costumes. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 verses. Oops, I don't slide. I always want to do that. Okay, I gotta put these in here. I've got 3 first appearances. I've got 2 verses, and I've got 2 new costumes. Jarvis has 4 verses. He's got a big lead on that. That's not good. He's got only 1 first appearance, and he's got only 1 costume. So that's good for me. Whoever's in the lead here at the end of the game gets 15 points. Second place gets 12 points. Okay, so you're going to do this over 3 rounds. The only site I've not shown you yet is the auction site. So the auction site uses only the Era 3 cards. And what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 rows of cards. 1 row of 4 and 1 row of 3. And wow, those do not look like those were shuffled. I'm going to shuffle those. Those do not look very shuffled. I'm guessing I did not use Iron Man last time I played because that was a lot of Iron Mans right next to each other. Okay. So in the auction, you are going to take one of the 2 rows. And what that is going to do is, oh, look at that, 3 Iron Mans, is you're using this money here. If you take the row that is 4, you have to spend 5 of your secret stash. If you take the row that is 3, you only need to spend 1. This is points at the end of the game. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious. I'm going to take this. It's got a new costume, it's got 2 first appearances, and it's 3 Iron Man. So I'm going to take these, and then these would go into Jarvis's collection. So in the second round, you go to the store again, which was the first thing I did, where I took 3, kept 2, gave 1 to Jarvis. Do that twice. Then you go to the auction site, which is what I just did here. A row of 4 and a row of 3. You bid on them, and then you go back to the convention. The convention is always the last thing you do in any round. And then you assemble your collection. So first round, you go to store, flea market, convention. Second round, store, auction site, convention. And the third round, flea market, auction site, convention. So that is how you play. At the end of the game, you add up your points that you have for sets that you have, and how many different characters you have, how much money you have left here from your secret stash, and whoever has the most points here. Whoever has the most points wins the game. Those out of the way. All right. So yeah, so Jarvis will collect everything. He does not really play by the rules. You know, he's a robot. He's a robot butler. Replayability. For a solo game, I think there's going to be a decent amount of replayability. For the main reason is you only take 6 of the 8 heroes, so you always can choose different heroes. The way you shuffle the decks, the way your convention deck is uh, is constructed, with which cards end up in your convention deck, which cards you take versus which ones end up in there during the game. The convention, the way cards are laid out, and you're sliding things. And then also your highlights. You're choosing only 3 of the 5 highlights. So I think there's a decent amount of replayability in this one, just because there are several sections in the game and in the gameplay and everything that allow for some differentiated setup. So I think there's going to be a decent amount of replayability for me in this one. Not sure what happened with my slides there. I think some things are out of order. Final thoughts on this one. Like I said, components not the best, but this game is not for the components. This game is for the comic book covers, the nostalgia. I absolutely love the gameplay in this one. I love the 4 different areas you go, and I think they're done very well, and it makes sense. The more modern comics make more sense that you're going to get those at the store. The the ones that are a little bit older, that makes sense that you're going to get those at the flea market because people might be selling those off. The auction site, that makes total sense that people are going to try and auction off those more valuable, more rare comics that are much older, that are more expensive. And then the convention, you're going to see a little bit of everything. So I think they did a really good job of theming and making sure that the different areas that you're going to collect your comics make sense for the comics, for the era of comics that you use there. I think that makes perfect sense. I think the gameplay in this is really good. I think the solo is tough. The solo stuff. I played a couple games. I have not won yet. The fact that Jarvis doesn't have to pay for anything really makes you think about what are you taking. Are you going to try and get some high value cards so you can pay for a lot of those low value cards? Because it doesn't matter if it's a high value or a low value. If you can get a big set of cards or a big set of a single hero, you're going to score a lot of points. Also, if you can get a lot of different ones, which is almost a guarantee that Jarvis is going to get all 6 heroes, which means that's 20 points, and you have to then try and get at least 4 or 5, so you're not too far behind. What do you take? When do you take things? So I think it's a really well done gameplay. Like I said, I think the 4 different areas you are going and collecting comics from, I think they just make sense. They really do. The era that you are getting from those things just make sense. So for this one, for me, this game I really enjoy. I enjoy it for the nostalgia. I enjoy it for the comics. I'm a huge comic book fan. I'm a huge Marvel fan. Have been for 30 some years. Um, and I think it's just I really enjoy it. I think it's really good. Now the components, like I said, the cards don't stay stacked very well. I don't sleeve cards. I don't plan to. I'll deal with it. I would love to see. Maybe now that it's been brought to the US, maybe we can get a deluxe version of it. Maybe we can get some expansion to it. I don't know. With the Marvel IP actually on it, that might be a little tougher, but Marvel has done some things. And if this game is really popular, maybe they will. Maybe they'll tie it into the MCU. Maybe we can get a whole new version tied into the MCU. Who knows? But yeah, all in all, absolutely love this game. If you like a good set collection game, if you like Marvel Comics, if you like a drafting game where you're basically drafting in multiple ways, like I said, it's basically you're drafting. You're doing some closed drafting, you're doing some open drafting in like 4 different ways, really. If you like those mechanics and you like Marvel Comics, I think you can look past the poor quality of cards and board and stuff because the game is just really good. So there you go. There's my final thoughts. Once again, this has been Where There's Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'll see you next time at the table.